Gentle Marketers. Welcome back to episode 53 of the Gentle Business Revolution podcast, the show where we mostly talk about marketing your business by disrupting the current marketing paradigm. As always, I'm Sarah Croce, your host, and you know that you're in the right place if you are a heart-centered entrepreneur or change maker who is looking for a better, a different way to market your business. Or you might also be a marketing impact pioneer, so someone who's working for an organization who does business for good. Today I'm back with a solo episode, which I realize I haven't done in a while. It's about the third P of the Gentle Marketing Mandala, the P that stands for people. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can download your one-page marketing plan in the shape of a mandala at sarahsanacroce.com/one page, the number one page altogether. In gentle marketing, people, or our people, refers to our clients. Of course, there are many other people involved when we run a business. For example, peers, partners, coaches, community, etc., but they have their separate P on the Gentle Marketing Mandala, and it's the P for partnership. So today, the third P that we're talking about is the one that stands for our people, meaning our clients, or maybe our ideal clients as well. I'll include those as well. And in this episode, I wanted to share about my experience of including my people in a decision-making process. So as you know, I'm writing the Gentle Marketing book right now, and I'm in this process of self-publishing, and I'm kind of sharing what I'm going through in the book updates on this podcast. So the last update was episode 50. So if you want to check that out, sarahsanacroce.com/GBR50. And in there, for example, I asked you, my listeners, or, gentle marketers in general, about their opinion regarding two versions of a cover. So I'm working with a cover designer right now, and she came up with two different versions. And so I used this platform called PickFu. I think it's pickfu.com, where you can upload two different covers for a book, or two different covers for a product, or anything, any visual. You can also use text. But basically, you're asking your subscribers or listeners or your people for an opinion or for a feedback. And so I did that a few weeks ago, shared it also on LinkedIn and shared it with my newsletter, shared it here on the podcast. And I was a bit nervous, honestly, to do that because I've seen people doing it before on LinkedIn, for example, because that's where I usually hang out. And in the comments, I felt like the comments just kind of went all over the place. Like some people would say one thing, then the other person would say, oh, that's exactly what I don't like. And so I was like, well, let's just see what comes back. And so sure enough, the feedback I got and the votes I got were almost exactly 50-50. So 50% of the people liked one cover and the other 50% preferred the other cover. And what was even funnier is that almost like for the reasons that the other one liked that cover better, these people would like this cover better. So it's like, oh, I don't like it because of this. And the other people would say, I like this one because so it was just funny to get this feedback and see the different opinions. But it really helped me actually to find out how people see me, see my brand, and see gentle marketing in general. Because people would say, oh, that's really not how I see you. For me, that's not what you represent. Or someone would say, well, that doesn't feel very gentle to me. This cover kind of doesn't look so gentle. So it was really interesting to get that feedback. And then obviously I had to then sit with it and say, okay, which one am I going to pay attention to? Because as I said, again, it was 50-50. So to me, it was not exactly helpful to choose one of the covers. I'm going to say that, but it was very helpful to help me decide in which direction to go. So in the end, and I'm going to share this here with you, one of the covers was kind of what people said, oh, this one looks more professional, and the other one was a bit more playful. And you can go back to that episode number 50, where I actually included the two covers. So one was a bit more playful, and the other one was kind of more professional looking. And so people told me, the ones that liked the professional one better, they told me, well, this one I like it better because it's more professional. And I was thinking, well, that's funny, because even though I wanted to, of course, look professional, I also wanted to be, different enough. I don't want it to look like just any other book, right? And so I was sitting with that and realizing, well, I kind of, want something that stands out a little bit. And other people were telling me, well, this one on the right, the one that looks more professional, is also kind of too soft. It doesn't show that doing and the yang energy. And I had to agree with that. That was very true. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So what I ended up doing is really looking for the comments that made a lot of sense to me. And almost everybody, or a lot of people, said they're too busy. Both covers are too busy. So you need to simplify. And it's so funny because, my first ever brand, the name was Simplicity, right? And so I'm all about simplifying. And I ended up wanting to put too much into the cover. So that's the feedback that I then gave my designer, and I said, look, we need to keep this very simple. It needs to really be this dance between the being and the doing, and just simplify and make it different enough so that people still say it's professional, but it also kind of stands out from all the other books out there. So again, I'm sharing this with you to tell you how important it is actually to get your people's opinion, and to also understand, again, how they see you. So it really made me realize how people see gentle marketing and kind of how they want me to show up. So that was really interesting. I have a friend and fellow business owner, George Cow, who does this also really well with his affiliate marketers. So people who signed up as affiliates to share his courses, he includes them in every step of the way. So he has a private Facebook group where he will update us about upcoming courses. He will ask us for his feedback about any kind of communication about these courses, sales pages, blog posts, I think even Facebook ads, maybe he asked at one point. So really getting our opinion to help us feel included, but also help him. It's always this win-win-win situation. It's like it helps us feel included. It helps him because he gets feedback. And then it also helps his clients because obviously they are more attracted by this offer. So really interesting way of including your clients. So I just kind of wanted to put this out there and maybe have you reflect on how you can involve your people and include them in decisions you have to make, or just get feedback on anything, because this idea of, showing up with so much confidence is great. But then sometimes if we don't first ask what others think, then maybe we get it all wrong. So, maybe it's on Facebook, maybe it's in your newsletter, maybe you do one of these pictures where you have two visuals and you ask your subscribers for an opinion. Anyway, to start in including your people. maybe just a few things when you start. I think it's really important to be open to receive constructive criticism and kind of tell your ego to stay in the background right now. Obviously, I think it's just human. I don't know, you'll tell me, but for me, it was like the first times I received something that said, oh, that's just not you, or I think you got this all wrong. I'm like, it's like, hey, who do you think you are? But then it's like, well, wait a minute. I asked for their feedback and let me sit with this and let's see what's true here. And honestly, those people who told me this is just not you yet, they are the ones that were right. So really, tell your ego to stay in the background when you get this feedback. Also, really important to only pay attention to gentle feedback. Of course, you don't want to pay attention to any rude comments. They're not even worth your time. Also, it's really key that you can't please everyone. When I got this 50-50 kind of result, I was like, now what do I do? These people tell me this one's better. These people are telling me this one is much better. Which way do I go? I think in the end, you still need to listen to your intuition and do what feels good to you. Yes, you want to have a book cover that sells, in the end, that's still important. So it's finding this middle way somewhere. I give you an example. For the subtitle, I really felt like I wanted to say, stop conforming. And then second line, grow your business your way with integrity and kindness. And my publishing assistant told me, well, for stop performing, there really isn't any searches on Amazon, so that's not going to get you any book sales. And then someone else also said, that doesn't feel really gentle if you tell me to stop conforming, even though I always say, and I say this in the book as well, to start with the no. So first, create more space and maybe let go of things. And that's what I meant by saying stop conforming. But these two opinions helped me realize, well, I guess I don't need that sentence. So stop conforming is gone. It doesn't get me any search results. So that's the kind of the yang, the left brain reasoning, right? And then the other, the more yin or more right brain reasoning is like, well, it doesn't feel good to people. Then why do it? And so stop conforming was taken out, and now it's just grow your business your way with integrity and kindness. So that's what I mean by kind of, yes, paying attention to what they say, but still also bring in your own opinions and then find the middle way. I also really encourage you to go deeper. If you get feedback that you don't really understand, ask the person to explain it, because maybe they're just saying something and it kind of feels hurtful to you, or you don't really, you don't get it. It's always worth it to help you understand better and what maybe they actually didn't mean it in a bad way. So go deeper. And then finally, don't take yourself too seriously. I know your project is your baby, but don't expect people who give you feedback to spend hours researching it. They will really just share their first impressions, and that's good enough, because that's what people will see on Amazon, for example. They will only see that first impression, and so that's what you need to go by. So I hope this is helpful to some of you. Remember, the conscious client wants to be included, seen, and heard. Next week, I'm back with a regular episode about the P of product, where I talk to my guest Sylvain Massot about his mission of crowdsourcing sustainability. This episode's show notes can be found at sarahsanacroce.com/52. And I hope you'll join me on this journey to a kinder marketing paradigm. If today is the day that you feel like leaving a review on iTunes, that would totally make my day. Thanks so much. Let's be the change we want to see in the world.